Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to round 3 of the Sim Racing Experience GT3 League sponsored by LuxSim24. Today we bring you to the hills of Connecticut, the home of Lime Rock Park. Built in 1956, this 1.5 mile track features 7 turns in total, 6 to the right and 1 to the left. It is just over 200 meters from the start line down to turns 1 and 2, where drivers will be reaching speeds of about 150 miles per hour before turning in. And it is off to turn 3, aforementionedly named the left-hander. Expect some tight track limit enforcement on the exit. Fast forward down the no-name straight to turn 5, skipping the chicanes this time around. We expect cars to catch some air here throughout the race. Fast right-hander of turn 6 sets up for some passing opportunities down the hill and up the inside of turn 7. Drivers will be pushing out to the grass to maximise acceleration down the straights. The fastest lap of a 43.112 was set here back in 1993 in a Toyota Mark III GTP. However, the GT3s today should be lapping around 48 seconds a lap, and even quicker as we get into qualifying here, presented to you by Two Ravens TV.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is Two Ravens TV. I am Matthew Balthaser, and alongside me is David Penna. How you doing, David?
Doing very well. Excited for the race.
I'm excited too. We should later be joined by Riley Hayes, as you just heard in our lovely intro video that we are starting to do now. But to kick things off, we are in the middle of the AM qualifying session here at Lime Rock. Now, David, a lot of these drivers probably haven't driven around this track very much in GT3 cars. What can you tell us about this track that we haven't really talked about yet?
Yeah, Lime Rock, unusual track to really go through with the GT3 cars. About a 1.5 mile racetrack in Connecticut. So it's really narrow and really fast as well. Lap times around here are probably going to be around the 47s, 48s, really. Like under a minute. So really fast lap times. Really fast, paced all around. Problem is, it's just all grass. There's no runoff at all. You touch the grass once, you will most likely go off into the barrier. Biggest one there is the wide right-hander of turn 1. You get on the brakes little tad bit later than you usually do. You catch a tire right in that grass, you'll get sucked into that wall about 50 meters down the grass field over there. But a lot of drivers got to really pay attention to braking points and make sure clean racing, or they will really just pay the price.
That is for sure. Now to quickly run down our provisional lap times right now, we have Tristan Roser with a 47.6 for his qualifying time, currently leading the AM category. However, Daniel Pohl is right behind him, just barely 5/100ths of a second off that pace. And then we have Jamie Goodall behind him, another 2.7 or 0.27 seconds away. Brian Russell, Steve Hannon, Mark Southgate, Rui, Ray, Zach, and Franric to round off our AM category.
Yeah, look at the cars this week. It's mostly the mid-engine cars, such as the Lamborghini, the R8, I think, as well, or is that rear engine?
The R8's mid-engine, I believe.
Mid-engine as well. Oh, just a little off right there during qualifying. But yeah, those mid-engine cars around here, notice that they're really exceptionally fast around this track. So we expect for the Lamborghinis and Audis really to be pretty dominating at this type of track as well. Let's take a look at this BMW here on Mark Southgate, going for his hot lap here. Coming to the last bend. He's got to make sure to really get this right and all that stuff. So far, he's about 7th place in the AM qualifying, so not too bad, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be improving on to that. So maybe be able to or not. But looks like Daniel Pohl right now has taking pole position with the Lamborghini of a 47.3. So exceptionally fast lap. There we go.
It was a
Words
very
cannot come.
fast lap.
Yes.
Also, really amazing to talk about as well. Daniel Pohl is also a very young driver out here. I believe he's in that preteen age group. So having a driver as young as him doing as well as he is in this championship is really amazing to see.
Definitely seeing him put that Lamborghini on pole is really impressive. But like I said, it's just the mid-engine cars around here that are really strong. Not well, we don't know why, but they're just really just amazing on how they do it. Now we've got the AM categories on the way. Let's see if we can take a look at the championships standings here.
So for the AM class currently before this race, we have Sergio leading the pack with a 45-point lead. Jamie Goodall is right there on his tail at 44 points. Rui following with 43 points. That top three is all very, very close within each other. And then we have Tristan, Mark Southgate, Ray Peasley, Lucas Hamilton, Zachary Levengood, Daniel Pohl, and Steve Hannon to round out our top 10. Going down from there is Chester Stelton, Byron Russell, Dom Payne, Zachary Thornton, and Michael Desla to round out the end of our AM class.
Now moving on to the pro class of the championship.
So with our pro class, we have Leon Penn currently leading the championship after Daytona with a commanding 44 points in the championships thus far. Adam Southgate in second with 36 points, and tying him as well in third place is Billy Fletcher with another 36 points. Going down the rest of the list here, we have Matthew Dambrine, Jorge, Matt, Nikolai, Luke, Adam, Matt, Kevin, Gavin, Matthew, another Matthew, Lee, Joshua, and Michael to round out our pro class. But it's still very early in the championship. There's still a lot of points ready for all of our drivers to get quite a few points.
Oh, most definitely. It's way too early in the series to really call it. It's only round 3 of the 11 rounds that we're going to have in this season. So still a lot of racing to come, but Lime Rock would definitely be an interesting one. This will be actually our first heat type of racing here. First race is going to be a 15-minute race, and then that'll be followed up by a what was the second race?
It'd be a 30-minute race.
30-minute. There you go.
I believe.
So 2 races around Lime Rock, 50 minutes. Their first one, and then second one 30 minutes. Second race is going to be a reverse grid for the top 8. So that'll be interesting to have. So whoever wins the race number 1 will be in position 8, and then the top 8 from race 1 will be just reversed into race number 2. So that'll be really cool to see that. See how the really fast guys can be able to pick through the field throughout race 2. So it'll be nice to see how competitive it can get.
That is for sure. Now, as we come down to the last 40 seconds or so of the AM's qualifying session, Daniel Pohl is still leading the pack on provisional pole with the same 47.3 time that he set earlier in qualifying, with a commanding lead over Tristan behind him with a 2/10 gap between him and first place.
Yeah, that's a pretty good gap there. Just another thing I was thinking about. Lime Rock, this type of layout as well, is basically the Bahrain GP, just the outer layout, outer circuit that we had last year in F1 season. So, because how fast the lap times are, it's crazy how they are.
That is actually, not to mention it, very similar.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, just got the message that the AMs are just finished up the session. Or just got the last couple of cars finishing out their hot laps, and then we will get ready for the pros to come out. But at this time, it's Daniel on pole, and we'll see if possibly Tristan can take that away from him.
And riding on board with Tristan right now as he comes around the final corner. Goes really wide on that exit. Hopefully that didn't slow him down too much.
Possibly, I might have gotten off track there and invalidated his lap, so that could be very unfortunate. Tristan was definitely doing really good pace. Here coming along with Reed Peasley, finished off his lap. Let's see if he can improve on his time or not. And it looks like
stay there at 9th.
Yep, stay there. Not the best of qualifying you really wanted, I assume, but there you go. Daniel Pole on pole position. Then we're going to have Tristan Rozier on P2 and Sergio Vieira, the AM class championship leader, in P3.
Now, as we take a few minutes here for the pro class to get ready to head out on track. You can very quickly here go over some of the weather we have right now. So currently we're looking at a 20 degrees Celsius track temperature and partly cloudy with very light winds. So hopefully wind won't be too much of a factor for these drivers as they go around the track.
Yeah, it doesn't really seem really too hot, so that's good because they're definitely going to need all the grip they would need on this circuit. It's just a lot of fast right-handers, especially coming into the jump, which is actually, traditionally you would see going into the chicane there after turn 4, I believe, but because we have the classic version, we actually have to go over the little jump, so drivers need to take a very precise line, or they might go too wide and just grab the grass and just hit the outer barrier that's lying in wait after that crest. So hopefully they're able to do that. As I mentioned here, here's a little jump here. They have to make sure they get that line properly, or they will just have a catastrophic accident. But here we go. We got who's this?
I believe we are currently riding with Bramblinson.
Bramblinson, okay. I was thinking for the other McLaren we had. It's like they're starting off their hot laps. Nice thing about the hot laps here in this track, each class obviously gets the 10 minutes of hot lapping, but that gives about, because the lap's so short, they're able to do so many hot laps. So if they make one mistake on one, they want to keep on going, they still have a lot of chances to get multiple laps in, and hopefully that they can get their best time out of them, just push to their absolute limit.
And here we go, as a lot of our pros are now setting their first time laps coming in. We have Elliot Harper currently sitting on provisional pole with a 47.07 for his lap time.
Yeah, I've been looking at Harper earlier. He's really fast, and it's actually in a McLaren as well. So pretty impressive time there from him. Macarona and the Lamborghini as well. Really just right behind his tail in the lap times. But yeah, but I think he can definitely see if he can improve his time. Man, looks like Elliot Harper actually goes a little bit faster, dipping his toes into the 46s. So those will probably be the lap times that we'll see from the pro category, and probably the top 3 or so, because those are insanely fast lap times. It's just impressive seeing the type of skill that these drivers can have. Really, it is really a good sight to see. Let's see how Matt Caruna takes the jump here. Wow, look at that. Oh, going a little bit wide there, so that's what I mean about that. The wall right there is really exceptionally close, and because he got the off track, he's got the abandon the lap. Now here's Billy Fletcher coming out of turn 1 here, going into turn 2, the left-hander, the only left-hander on the circuit, actually. So it's really a circuit that really goes a lot of wear on that left-hand side of tires. Going through the no-name straight back on the back. Going into the jump here. See how he does it. Gets that air. Is able to keep it on track. Try to keep that time. Coming into the last couple of turns here. Using all of the track he's able to use. Trying to get off quick as he can, really. Coming into the sand pose straight. Oh, he's gone actually wide there. I'm not sure if that's going to invalidate it or not. But it looks like it did, so that's very unfortunate for him there. It looked like a good, strong lap. Oh, apparently that did count and just went 1/1000th of a second faster. So still not bad. There's improvement, but of course not the improvement. Oh, definitely, yeah. It's not the improvement you really wanted, I'd say. But yeah. So we have Elliot Harper. Oh, Kevin going a little road trip down the grass field over there. But we still have Elliot on pole right now. Leon Penn, P2, about a 10th behind. And Adam Southgate, almost 2/10 behind the leader there.
Right along with the end of Jorge's lap, as he improved his time at all. However, he just had Matt Caruna take over pole position from Elliot Harper with a 46.83, about 1/10 faster than Elliot Harper's best time.
That's definitely a good present time there. That's what I mean about the Lamborghinis, the mid-engine cars. They're able just to somehow just really get the pace out of this track here.
They definitely have the advantage in turn-in and through the turns and stuff. However, how much does these mid-engine cars not having the front end drop as quickly coming over that jump really affect their performance on that back straight?
Well, because these cars are really just more rear-wheel drive, so it doesn't really affect too much on the power there. It just really depends on because that nose hangs a little bit more compared to the front engine cars, let's say. It does give them more risk of going over that jump and possibly going off the track. That we've seen Caruna go off multiple times. So as we just saw right there, well, I saw at least, but went a little wide and just yep, and he's lost it and had a little accident there. But you have the abandoned lap there, so hopefully he still has a little bit of time to try and see he can make that gap bigger from Elliott. So, but right now, right on board with Adam Boustain. Assuming he's gonna be finishing a hot lap here, probably gonna be starting another one because he's probably most likely got the fuel and time to do it, obviously. So we'll see if he improves into this one, and doesn't really seem like it, but we'll see if he can improve throughout the whole lap. Really.
Oh, unfortunately, caught the grass and spun.
And that's another issue you gotta look out for. Just to watch that grass. Going through with Thrawn bar view, going through the jump. Wow, just you really cannot see anything coming over that jump at all, and that's why you just saw him just go just wide there. Audi as well with that mid-engine. So, oh, that's awesome helmet. Now we have Leon Penn really trying to go for that pole position, only a 10th down. So really close between Harper and him, but gonna see if he's able to improve and hopefully take that pole spot. Really, Leon's definitely a really good contender in this championship so far. So pretty impressive. Now with about 5 minutes to go, looks like actually Harper did improve a tiny bit. He's about 300ths off from Matt there. So he's gonna see. Looks like he's gone a little wide. That's probably gonna cost him some time, maybe even validate the lap. But looks like he's still pushing on. So see if he's able to see if he will be able to get that pole position so far. Still have about 4.5 minutes left of qualifying, so a lot of time left for a lot of drivers.
That is for sure. What's beautiful about these really short tracks like this is it allows the drivers to actually be really close in terms of time with each other. So it'll make for hopefully some very good racing this week. As we've seen from the last 2 rounds of this league, have some very respectful driving from all these drivers. And hopefully that continues.
Yeah, it's been good action in racing between all of them, really. But a lot of good fights happen on Daytona, so looks like Harper's improving his times a little bit. Looks like he improved a little bit in Sector 1 so far. He's doing a really good lap, so maybe he's able to. We'll see if he's able to get that pole position back from Matt. And doesn't seem he's able to. Just improves a tiny bit more. Oh, that was so frustrating for him. He just needs to get. He really needs to get that. So I just lost a little bit throughout Sector 4 there, but just really trying to get time by time, trying to get each centimeter out of this track to get as much time as he can to try to get to Matt. And it looks like Matt just finished off another lap there with still about 3 minutes left to go. All the pro class racers still have a lot of time to try to improve their time to get much higher into the grid that they want.
Now, as we ride on here with Adam Southgate, he is still our only Ford GT in the entire field. And he is doing an amazing job driving that car, especially seeing as even though he is the only one in the Ford, and the Ford is by some considered to be an obsolete car within the GT3 class here on iRacing, he is still running tied for second place in the Pro Championships.
Yeah, at this point, seeing the performance with the Ford, it's really impressive how such a old car can still keep up with the big boys, as the Lamborghini, the Audi, and all the BMW as well. Really fast cars around the iRacing service we've seen around, but really good lap times seen by Adam throughout the Ford. Really good performance throughout the season as well. So he's still in the fight, as I said, tied for the second there. So really good skill from the driver and the car itself. Got about a minute 20 left on the clock of qualifying, so this will most likely be about possibly around 3 laps to go with qualifying. So we're gonna see if Harper can possibly improve his time and try to get that pole position. He's really been chasing it this whole about 12-ish minutes now of qualifying for the pro class, but I don't know if he's gonna be able to do it. He's been trying to do it each lap and lap, try to dig and dig, but he's just not able to get to that gold he's really seeking. So not really sure if he's trying to do it. And it looks like Jorge has actually improved his time, went up to P12 as well. Oh, a little bit of a spin from who was staying there from Adam. That's the part you really don't want to go wide on, especially out of turn 3 there. in the video we showed earlier, gotta be really careful going out wide because that's just mostly just grass there. So really careful on the exit. Looks like Harper is on a most likely a fast lap here. But looks like qualifying's be over, and that is it for the grid for the pro class.
So to quickly go over our grid here really quickly. On pole position, we have Matt Corona. Next to him on the grid is Elliot Harper. Third, Leon Penn. Next to him is Adam Southgate, Billy Fletcher, Nikolai Thrain, Daniel Pohl, Kevin Yu, Tristan Roser, and Sergio Venera to round out our top 10 drivers here at Lime Rock this week. Some absolutely amazing times set by these top guys around this track. And then to continue down through the line, we have Gavin Boyette in 11th position, Jorge in 12th, Jamie Goodall, Byron Russell, Mark Southgate, Steve Hannon, Ramblinson, Rui Pinero, Adam Bohastun, I believe. Once again, as we say every week, we apologize for any names that we butcher. But then following Adam is Ray Peasley, Fanric Dambrine, and Zach Levengood to round off the rest of our grid here this week.
Hey, look, looks like we're racing.
Beautiful. We get to round off the bottom of the grid.
But we're about to start getting away with the pace lap. Very short pace lap here. So it'll be really quick to get to the racing. Well, it looks like we got the top, well, about in the top 4 cars, we have the 3 of them actually, the Lux M24 vehicles. My apologies, I have to take this.
And here goes the pace car. So to start that pace lap, these drivers shake off the last little jitters and get in their racing mindsets for this quick sprint race of only 15 minutes.
My apologies for that. My mother had called me, but we're good now.
Appears we have Matt playing with the pace car as they make their lap around.
I feel like they should make the pace car just actually like a object that actually has
Collision physics.
Hitbox with it. And just absolutely destroy the car. I find that funny.
Just tell nobody about that update and just
Put it in the April Fools, whatever. It's like, all right, let's go in the car and just boom, sent to the Shadow Realm. As we now come over the crest now, get into the last couple of turns here. Get ready for the start of the first heat race. Here we go, as the pace car is going to start pull away here. Harper is now getting the field lined up, all gridded and ready for the start of the first heat race of 15 minutes at Lime Rock Park. Those flames coming out of McLaren, anticipating the launch coming from the green flag. Actually, looks like Matt isn't really paying attention to.
Away we go, and
it looks like Matt actually got the jump off of Harper there, going into T1. Looks like it's clean so far. Matt's got a good pace, good jumped in from the start there. I'm not sure if he was supposed to stay behind or not, but that's all right. So everyone's still keeping it tight and clean.
So far, so good. But it seems like everybody's gotten through the track quite nicely here at the start.
Here we're right along with the AM class leader with Daniel Pohl. So far, everyone made it throughout the jump here. Really good everyone's that survived the lap 1 since so far, but Matt is able to pull off already about 4/10 of a gap between him and Harper.
Oh, and unfortunately, some contact between Daniel Pohl and Kevin Vu in T1, sending Daniel Pohl all the way off track as he is recovering here. Behind
Take a look at it. Oh, just came onto him, right? He had the line coming into T1 there, but that's so unfortunate. He was looking so good in that Lamborghini, and being able to get shunted off from P1 from his class is just so upsetting. Oh, now we got another spin. Appears to be Sergio actually, going down in the leaderboard right now. So another of heavy accident coming out of the second last turn there. Probably have to come in for the pits for repair. It's definitely a meatball for him. So come in and try to use his. He is in the pits right now, actually using that fast repair. So hopefully he can get back out and maybe try to dig back. But right now I'm back right on board with Matt. Harper's still right on his gearbox there. Try to get back at him. Trying to make his spot back from the start of the race. Trying to get that positioning. Oh, it looks like Kevin Vu's off the track right now and gone right into the barrier. Just touched that grass a little bit and just went wide. Right now, going back to this fight, position 1. It's still going hard. Harper still trying to dial in Karuna with his the start. Now going
Here's
to Kevin
the
Vu.
replay of Kevin, his unfortunate trip as a lawnmower.
Oof, another hard impact. Definitely a meatball. And he's in the pits. Get that fast repair.
Now looking here at all of our interval times between all of our drivers and stuff, it is a very close racing, considering the size of this track and this field that we have currently.
Yeah. Last week you heard us say, oh, with the dive there, but it doesn't look like he was able not to really secure it and just goes off into T1. Who was that? Oh, it looks like it was Rambleson that went off there. Let's take a replay at that. Yeah, it just looked like tried to go for that dive in the T1 and just got little of a touch. Just really sent him from the Southgate there. That really just sent him down into the grass at T1. But I was saying, last week you heard us say that the draft is so important at Daytona. Just draft, all that stuff. But here, it doesn't not really matter at all. Their straights are way too short. Track is way too short for any type of draft. So you just really gotta be consistent and really keep it clean. That's the only way to really try to make it throughout this whole track and just try to get those positions. But at the end of this track, the draft does not really matter.
Now, right now with Steve Hannon here, he is currently running 3rd place in his class and 11th place overall.
Let's say, unfortunately, Daniel was actually back off. Don't know what happened there, but he's off the circuit at around turn 4 there. So, unfortunately, that's not looking too good for him. Not the type of start he was anticipating after starting so well.
He had a very low start, but unfortunately, things just didn't line up with him. But right now with Tristan Roser, who is currently leading the AM field with a solid gap between himself and the car of Gavin Boyette in front of him. However, he is definitely trying to trace down Gavin, who is in the pro class, just to try and maybe get some gap between him and Jamie Goodall behind him. But Jamie is on his tail, not letting him have any breathing room as they come through this race. And then behind Jamie Goodall is Jorge, one of the pro class cars, who is trying to fight his way back up through the field. And gets a good pass there on Jamie coming into T1.
Definitely saw another spin come out of Daniel Pole, so his race is gonna be most likely over for the race for the Heat 1, the first Heat race. So, which we only have about 8.5 around minutes left in the Heat 1 race. So far, we've got Matt in P1, but with the looks like a three-way fight for first place. It just looks like anyone's game there, really. But right on board, Steve, he's getting chased down by Russell, and looks like Goodall, I think so, around there. Yeah, from Russell and Steve Hannon. Really close action there, fighting for that 11th position. Now it's a little bit of a teammate battle. So definitely no team orders here. Just gonna be try to go for it. Ain't no really no James moment really.
Yep. As long as they don't have battles the way that Hamilton and Nico Rosberg did when they were teammates, which it looks like Steve Hannon pulled off to go into the pits. I don't know if he has damage, or maybe he forgot to set his fuel back up to race fuel after qualifying, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, with this heat race, you should not be taking any fuel because of how short it is. So not really entirely sure. And he's actually been in this box for a while now. So I think he might have made that mistake of actually not filling up all the way from his qualifying fuel. He's been in there for a while now. Not entirely sure what that's all about, but don't really know. It's gonna really cost him from that fight. That's just gonna give the spot to Russell really easily. So really short fight, sadly, but don't know.
And then back here up at the front of the pack with Matt Caruna and Elliot Harper, they're starting to lap some of the back of the field. But these are also teammates here fighting for first position. However, it looked like Elliot got a better run coming off the jump than Matt did.
We'll
Wasn't
see.
able to really get up there far enough for a move into the final corner. These two are definitely battling pretty hard. Each of them really wanting that win.
Look at the Lamborghini of Leon Penn right behind him too. Just right in the shadow, waiting to strike, see if one of these two can make a mistake or just able to get the pass done. But really good racing. We see Matt just already defending from Harper because he's scared of trying to get the dive into a T1 there. That's really the really good overtaking spot, honestly. I see Matt's flashing his lights there, trying to get past the lap traffic. Oh, now he's off there. Hopefully he joins back safely, and he does. And Harper's trying to go for the run for it. Matt's defending that inside line. And it looks like Matt was able to get that defending off really, really nicely done here. Still 5 minutes left in the race, so probably around 7 laps left, most likely. So he's gonna have to do a lot more defending around the track.
Some more lap traffic here getting in his way a little bit. However, lap traffic pulling off very nicely, letting the top guys here go through.
Matt going off just a tiny bit there, going off just a hair, and going back to looks like
battle here with Jorge and Jamie Goodall.
Yeah, this is Jamie Goodall, the leader of the AM class, fighting with Jorge here. Yeah, right now it's looks like just Tristan trying to get that spot, trying to get P1 from Jamie there, trying to fight right there. So he's going to try to see if he can get the pass done on Tristan. Sorry, Tristan onto Jamie.
And fortunately, it looks like we have a pretty big here wreck with Frank Dembrine. Looks like he was coming down into the final corner and just lost the rear end after clipping the grass on exit.
Wow, luckily no one was there because he did go back on that track. There were cars right behind him. I think they would have contact with him, so it's good that no one was around him at that time.
Okay, I'm just going to bring your attention to the leaders here. Elliot has just gone off coming out of the aforementionedly named left-hander. He's just towed and he's now in the pits, so that's going to be probably race over for Elliot. It's going to be beneficial for Leon as he's going to jump up into P2 here, and hopefully he can try to get a little bit closer to Matt, try and hopefully secure maybe a Heat 1 win.
Well, welcome, Riley.
So good day to you, Riley. Yeah, gonna say.
Yeah, I like that play.
It's all right. Nice for you to join us at least towards the end here. But yeah, did not see that Elliot went off. That's really unfortunate for him. But now it's just between Leon and Matt here. So we're gonna see if Leon can really try to pull off the pace and make that pass for Matt. But at this time, he would be starting the 7th for the heat number 2.
There's a real quick replay of Elliot Harper going off track after the left-hander.
Just looks like he just overcooked it and just
oversteer.
Kept rotating.
It's so unfortunate. He was looking really good out there at McLaren. But hopefully he's able to maybe possibly see if he can make up some spots throughout the heat number 2 here. But back in his battle, Leon is just making that time by time, trying to get back at Matt, see if he can get that first spot from him.
Yeah, he already looks like he's about 2 car lengths away from Matt, so there's definitely going to be use of the slipstream that Matt will be producing. Also with Adam Southgate as well, he is still 8/10ths back. However, he will still be able to benefit from the slipstream that Leon produces. So, of course, he'll be able to have a higher top speed down the straights and will be able to gain to that battle pack for first place.
Most definitely. Now we're coming back to the finishing laps of the first race, actually. It's already been almost over. It's already been almost 50 minutes.
Sitting here with the AM battle here in for second place in the AM field between Tristan and Byron. Byron hoping that he can close up that gap just a little bit in these last minutes of the race here.
Just trying to grab whatever he can grab as we come through T1 and T2. Again, probably for one of the last times around Lime Rock Park here. About 5/10ths off. Can't really do anything at the moment, Brian. However, again, he can still try and make something up and hopefully try and take P2 for the AMs, which will be nice as we've got the white flag here as Matt has passed the finishing line. As we go one more time around here at Lime Rock Park. Leon has just absolutely made up leaps and bounds to Matt. However, will he be able to do anything? We got half a lap to find out if he can actually do anything or not. They both get just super jumpy over the jump there. You see how squirmy and unsettled they are over the jump. Come through the final corner now. You can just see how wide they run it with all the grass on the turn in to their corner. As Matt will take P1 in Heat 1 here. Leon will take P2 and Adam Southgate will take P3 in the pros. We've still got the AMs lapping around here. It looks like it'll be Jamie Goodall for P1 in the AMs. Tristan Royzer, I think that's how you pronounce it, for P2. And Byron Russell here for P3 in the AMs today.
Now we got the rest of the field, around 3 cars left lapping the race right now. Got Zach doing good. Happy with his result. Happy in finishing with those lights. Good for him as well. Adam Boustain. Fortunate results for him with the pro class, but he's able to finish. And here comes last contender, finishing over the line at Ray Peasley. As I don't know which game that was, but it's been off there, and there we go.
That was Matt celebrating his win in that sprint race.
That
Well,
was
there you
almost
go.
tragically a head-on collision at full speed. However, iRacing decided to pull that and swap to the next session. So, as we're going to have a look at the results now, I believe, of the first heat here. There it is. So again, Matt Karuna won the first split here, followed by Leon Penn and Adam Southgate, Billy Fletcher. Don't know why there's. Don't know why Thrain doesn't have a first name. That's weird. Nikolai Thrain and Gavin Boyett wrapping out the top 6. Then Jamie Goodall, Tristan Rosier, Byron Russell, Mark Southgate, Roy Pinheiro, Jorge Pinheiro, Zach Livingood. Wow, everyone has really difficult to pronounce names if you're Australian.
A lot of international guys tell you that.
I apologize, everyone, if I butchered everyone's names, but yeah, that was the top 15. So, as everyone's now warming up for the second race, where I believe it's actually an inverted
We're at top
start.
8.
Yeah, so Tristan Rosier was actually starting P1 in front of the grid for heat number 2. So Tristan Rosier P1, Rory Pinheiro P2, Byron Russell P3, Adam Southgate P4, Matt Karuna for actually never mind. I think I'm looking at the wrong results possibly here, but because I think the warm up is messing up a little bit, but we'll see in a second with the grid lineup. My apologies.
We'll definitely come back to you guys with the grid once they start gridding up.
Yeah, there you go. Lots of good action from heat number 1. What do you guys think about it?
I think that was a very good race. A lot of these drivers pushing just a little too hard, ending up on the grass and spinning, which is unfortunate, but that is one of the challenges of this track, for them to be able to deal with not having a runoff like many European tracks do, and having that very sharp crest that is honestly reminiscent of rally drivers as they come around.
There he is. Our gnome of Lime Rock Park. I like it. Now we got a couple minutes left with the warm up here. Yeah, it's so dumb. Like, yeah.
As we're just going to be wrapping up warm-up here, waiting for the grid for the second heat here at the Lime Rock Park. I'll have a quick look at the grid in a second, once the session actually lets us have a look at it. Then we can tell you the standings and how everyone will be sitting on the grid. So, starting off with Jorge Pinheiro. No, sorry. Is
Tristan Roser.
Yeah, Tristan Roser. Yeah, Tristan Roser for P1. Jamie Goodall for P number 2. Gavin Boyette for P3. Nikolai Thron for P4. Billy Fletcher P5. Adam Southgate P6. Leon Penn P7. And our race winner for heat number 1, Matt Karuna, and P8. Then we got Byron Russell for P9. Mark Southgate for P10. Rui Pinairo for P11. And then Jorge Pinairo for P12 as well. And going down further down the list here in the order, we've got Zach Lemongood for P13, Adam Boostine for P14, Ray Peasley P15, Mark, Emmerlin Boston for P16 now, Sergio Vieira P17, Daniel Poole P18 for France, for Franz Ryan for P19, Kevin Vu P20, Harper for P21, Steve Hannon P22, and that's going to be it for the 22 cars starting this second race.
As well with myself and David still rounding out the back of the grid, apparently.
Yep, qualify faster than you.
Nah, you know, happens every time.
It's
always
the
the
guys
bigger
got on the
fish.
grid. I never got on the grid, so
Loser. Too slow. That's what happens when you sleep in, really.
They have this beautiful
That is
camera
true.
angle as these cars come through left-hander into the right-hander.
we can just take a minute to appreciate the level of detail in these liveries, especially the livery that is on the 007 Mercedes. I quite like that one.
Oh, yes.
Gavin Boyette.
Yeah,
Might be a little
Valhalla
biased
Sports,
there,
I think.
but
Nah, no sir at all. I love that that little gold brown. Love it. Best looking car, I'd say.
Best looking car because it's also online.
But as we come through the final corner here, pace car is going to be dipping in here in a second, giving the control of the race to Tristan Roser before the green flag flies. And there it goes.
And they're away. Look at that
Gavin
great
getting
start
an
from Tristan there.
excellent, start. Getting up his nose on the inside of Tristan there for a second.
Tristan's running it wide and off into the grass, never to be seen again. As now Gavin is now holding the provisional lead of the race now. Billy's not letting that happen without a fight though. He's now side by side now down the no-name straight, coming through the jump. Will take the position, so Billy is now P1 as he's trying to defend from two people. You can have a pretty hard time doing that. As Gavin and Nikolai rub doors coming around the penultimate corner. It's a really close racing here. Gavin's now just slacking off. I think
making it 3 wide down the straight into T1. He is late on the brakes, easily taking the position from those two.
Gavin's just not really able to really get that, trying to get in line, to him inside line, just lost so many places through that first lap. Just saw him I saw him get loose throughout turn 3. That's how he lost the lead to Billy there. But because just keeping getting shuffled, he's just not was able to get on that line to try to defend. But yeah, just unfortunate there for him. Hopefully he can try and make up the spots throughout the race.
And then jumping back to Jamie Goodall, who is currently leading the AM field. Making his way currently past Gavin Boyette as well. Definitely doing his best to try and stay on the gearbox of Adam Southgate there in front of him. Try to use him to fight his way up closer to that front pack. Now with Sergio here fighting with Jorge and Ray, I believe. Here closer to the back of the field, but still excellent racing for all of these guys on the field currently.
It's been super clean, aside from that T1, lap 1 deviation from our leader here. Seems to be pretty clean.
And right as to say that, we got someone off.
Unfortunately, we have Billy Fletcher off in T1, and that's going to set him back. And we'll jump to a replay here really quickly to see what happens.
See, he just got spun on the inside there by Nikolai. Just
wow, hard shunt to that wall. Definitely can be back to the pits there.
Just tried to make it a position that didn't work.
Yeah, very unfortunate for him.
Beautiful move by Daniel Pohl on Zach Levengood. As Daniel, who qualified pole during the first heat race for the AM class, unfortunately had a small accident and is now trying to fight his way back up through the field to make use of this second race and all the points that come with it.
Wow, it's crazy already seeing Matt Kruna and Leon Penn already in the top 3 already. I'm starting from 7th and 8th, but really fast, already going through the field. Matt already P2, trying to chase down Nikolai, trying to get the first spot. Maybe you can try to do a lockout here, winning both races.
That camera angle that we just saw of the cars coming over that crest, catching air on at least 2 tires, and some of them even 4 or 3 tires, is just an amazing sight to watch. Usually you don't see stuff like that in GT3 racing. That's usually reserved for rally drivers and their co-drivers.
Caution jump, that's what they say. And definitely hard getting that jump.
Even on that profile shot there of the front runners there, you can still see how high Leon jumped with his front wheels. You can almost see the floor of the car just from that profile shot alone. So impressive stuff to be able to comprehend that the GT3s, they're quite fragile cars, to be honest. I don't know if you've ever driven one, quite fragile. So for them to be able to jump over a jump, like, how many laps did we do last heat? Like at least 19, I think. That's pretty impressive, I think.
Honestly, having a car not have 4 wheels on track is something you just don't see at all, really. It's just something scary, I'd say.
Usually,
it's always a goal. Always goal is having the 4 tires on instead of have 2 in the air every lap, and that's just the usual thing in Lime Rock with the classic layout.
Here with Byron Russell, who's definitely punching above his weight class, fighting a lot of these guys in the pro class for positions and giving it to him just as much as he's getting it.
Just going to bring your attention to, Gavin Boyett and Elliot Harper. Elliot's just made a move down the inside of T1 and just made the position work and taken the position from Gavin. It's now a 3-way fight for P6. As Elliot's still trying to sneak his way down the inside there to try and make it up to P6 to our mysterious number 11 name. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. I apologize. As he's made both positions work and over the jump and off into the sunset. See you later, mate. As we've got Gavin now fighting with our number 11 fella. Coming down the front stretch again as we tick into lap 9 here for our 30-minute feature race. Not going to be giving up without a fight. To go too wide into T1. Gavin, however, still has the legs to pull away. He's had the track position there, sitting on the outside of the track.
However, all that fighting has let Byron and Mark really close the gap between those two. And they're kind of starting to stick their nose into there for that fight for 7th now.
Oh, looks like Matt is actually in P1, so looks like Nico, he was able to get that move done past Nikolai there, so he's already P1 in the feature race, so that's really good stuff for him. But definitely also with Harper, definitely on a charge there, trying to make up those spots from a disappointing P1 race after him going off in the final laps. So he's definitely trying to make something up.
Coming back here with Jorge. Had a nice little battle there with his teammate Rui.
So it looks like little. I'm not sure if there are siblings or not, but I'm not really entirely sure about that.
I'm calling it family rivalry.
Looks like it, yeah.
I'm going with that.
Not entirely sure what they are, but yeah, I'd say so.
So I want to bring your attention back to the front of the race here, our battle pack here for first place. You can see how close they are all together. They're all within a second of each other. Quite impressive stuff. Again, how you can have at least 4 or 5 people who are on the same pace as each other and all wanting that sweet P1 glory. So again, we've got Matt Karuna down up from Nikolai here, 0.6 of a second up. Here's. And then Leon Penn is down from Nikolai, 1/8 of a tenth. So definitely he could possibly do something to T1 if he wants to, or if he wants to sit behind him and just save his tires a little bit. And just preserve, not overdrive. Looks like he did try to make a move, however, he backed out of it at the last second. Mental games is a big thing here in racing as well. Or the art of juking out your opponent, trying to bait them into making a move that you're not actually doing.
Now taking a look at the Matt. These are not really looking too great in the championship because he did miss out on Daytona last week, I think. So he did win in a Sebring first race, but because he missed out on the round 2 of Daytona, he's already down late on the championship. But with the win of the first race and maybe even of the second race, this will definitely get him some good points to try to get back up on the leaderboard, try to climb back up, and maybe take it away from Leon Penn. But right now, Leon on P3 and is already making good positions to get good points for him to keep that lead in the championship or the pro class.
And then here riding with Daniel Pohl, who is honestly putting a lot of pressure on Adam here in front of him. Daniel really wants to get through and start trying to really put some pace and catch up to the other AM drivers in front of him. But showing some amazing patience, especially for a young driver like him. See if he will have the speed here to make the move down into T1. As he tries to fight it on the outside. He can't make it stick.
As Jorge tries to stick his nose into this fight to try and perhaps profit off this little squabble here. If we come down now the no-name straight, Jorge's backed out a little bit. Didn't get quite the run that Daniel and Adam did. Still going to have the drive though, so he might be able to do something down the front straight, down pit straight. Maybe try and poke his nose down the inside again, like he tried to go down through T2. As
it's like Daniel goes for the move on the inside, clipping some of the grass on the inside, unfortunately. Oh, and Adam spins, catching grass on the outside.
Unfortunate there. Yeah, just pushed a little too hard and just lost that rear end. Just Daniel was able to get that position, which is really good for him. So now he's gonna defend it from Jorge from behind. Let's take a look at that real quick. Oh, he actually caught the dirt right there at the end, so I just lost it. That's unfortunate. He was looking really good on the defensive from Daniel there, but now Daniel into P11, and it looks like to be P4 in the AM class. Let's go to the battle of Byron Russell against Ryan Busson. Looks like they've been even really on him, closely on his tail. So hopefully maybe see if we can get the move done, but good racing from him as well.
Good racing from them both, especially with how close he's being to the back of that McLaren. Almost like he's ready to cook some s'mores on those flames that come out the back.
Most definitely, yeah.
It's going to come to a quick replay here. Overcooked into T1. Just too much speed there for Frank Dambrine. Might have missed his braking marker. I'm not too sure what the go is there, but he has to deal with it as it comes. Speaking of dealing with it as it comes, I'd like to bring your attention to a disqualification, sorry, not a disqualification, but a retirement I believe we've had of Zach Livengood. He has left the session. His car is definitely not on track, so I'm not sure where he is.
Fortunate for him. Not really sure what happened with him, but it looks like Mark Southgate going to the pits, presumably for a fast repair, or maybe even the pit stop, I think, because these cars do have the 40% gas tank actually instead of the full 100%. So we're gonna see a lot less fuel in the vehicle. So we actually might be seeing some pit stops start to come around.
So he's exited the pits there, back out on track. So hopefully he can make up a few more positions, try and make up what he lost in the pits. I think everyone will be doing that.
But Jorge now coming in the pits as well.
Sorry, as Nikolai and Leon have a little bit of a squabble. Nikolai going defensive there into T1, getting side by side, but Leon backing out at the last second. Again, trying to juke someone into to taking a wrong line, so you can get around a little bit more cleaner. Coming back down the no-name straight again. Coming over the jump here. I just love this jump. That's why I love this track so much. They don't run it in skip bar anymore, I don't think. They run the Grand Prix layout, which makes me sad. But
yeah, it's definitely the unusual layout that we don't see really with the Lime Rock. So definitely experimentation from the VRS series. But so far it's been really good. Little fun action with the jump as well. So a good factor to be dealt with in the race. Now we see Elliot Harper actually set the fastest lap of the race with a 47.3. So he's definitely on a good charge, trying to make up the trying to see if they can catch up to Adam Southgate. Maybe try to go for that battle for P4. So we still have about 13.5 minutes left, so a lot can still happen, especially with the cars coming for their
Steve
pit stops.
Cannon coming through the final corner, getting a little squirrely, but able to keep it on track after a quick little venture off the track.
I mentioned in the intro how people will be using all of the track and even some of the grass there on the final straight to maximize the straight line speed. It's no exaggeration. People will be doing it, and you can see the tire tracks on the edge of the track as well, of people just going off to try and get as many Ks down the straight as they possibly can. One would beg to differ that if your two wheels are off the track, that you're not actually gaining as much speed as you usually would, but people like to do it anyway, so.
Yeah, just trying to get that most of the time they can really get, but using every inch they can to optimize those lines and just get that time cranked out at Lime Rock, because it really is such a precision needing track. It's such just mile and a half. It's just not a lot of room for error, honestly.
Especially when we were seeing like some of our fastest guys during qualifying only being hundredths of a second or thousandths of a second off of each other. The little mistakes will add up for these guys as they go around this track, especially over the 30 minutes that this race will run.
Speaking of the time constraints of this race, we've got about 11 minutes to go here in the second heat at Lime Rock Park. Leon Penn still fighting with Nikolai here, still trying to get past. However, he's dropping back a bit, so I'm not sure what the go is there. As he could be doing some fuel saving there. It's definitely a strat that he might be doing. That does actually let Adam Southgate into the fight and to potentially suit up any strats that Leon might be taking. So definitely going to be interesting to see what Adam can do with Leon's fuel saving strats.
Yeah, within battling, it's actually allowed Matt to get about almost a 2-second gap between him and Nikolai. So it's really just allowed him just to run away with this position one at this moment, while the clock winds down to about 10.5 minutes. So he about the top 3 still have not done their pit stops.
No.
So.
As Nikolai
spinning in left hand. Fortunately, Adam Southgate able to get on the brakes and not make contact with him, and Leon able to take evasive actions in order to not make contact as well.
So we're just going to come to a quick replay here of how it all unfolded. It just looks like he just overcooked it. Yeah, Leon was able to sneak it down the inside before he got too much over onto the left-hand side. However, Adam, not being so fortunate, had to pull it up, had to stop on the track, costing him a few seconds. But I'd rather a few seconds lost than my front bumper missing. So I think I'm with Adam on that one.
Yes.
Yeah, it was definitely. But the real winner of that little spin there was Elliot Harper, actually making up 2 positions. So now he's actually in P3, trying to wind down to Leon there. But yeah, really good luck for him. It was about P5, then that spin happened, then yeah, got down to P3. So good stuff from him.
Because of that spin, everyone is about 2 seconds away from each other, so there's really going to be no fights at the current point in time. We have to wait for people to catch up to each other, and then we'll see some fighting as we actually, hang on, Daniel Cole. Looks like he's getting pretty close to our mysterious number 11 guy. Again, I entirely apologize, number 11. I don't know your first name, and I cannot pronounce your last name.
I'm gonna say it's Ramblinson, but
I'm gonna go with that.
Ramblinson.
Rylan Boson, sounds like. Yeah, most of we gotta ask the people with the hard names how they actually say them, so we don't keep on butchering them throughout the whole season. It looks like
jump again. Sorry.
Leon Pin going into the pit lane for his pit. This pit lane here at Lime Rock is a very short pit lane. However, the entry is a very tricky, very hard to maintain a lot of speed coming into it. But we're only expecting drivers to be losing maybe about 20 seconds down the pit lane as they come in for fuel.
wow, Matt just getting absolutely close to that car coming in, which was Steve Hannon when he's coming to the pits there, so almost going to the back of him, but he was able to get it safely out of the way. But we haven't seen Matt actually pit yet, so he's going to be pitting really soon, I'd assume. So it's going to give Elliot Harper the lead for a moment because he has not pitted as well. About the top four haven't pitted yet, so we'll see make the little order when everyone pits and out the and goes back out into the race as well.
As Daniel Pohl comes in for his mandatory pit stop, and as does Tristan Rosier as well. So they trundle down the pit lane at 56 kilometers per hour. Not sure what that is in miles per hour, but definitely nail-bitingly slow compared to the 150-ish, 200 they'll hit down the front straight.
I think that's around like 35 miles per hour, something like that.
I think it's around that.
For the American guys.
I think it's closer to 40.
Yeah.
Sure. As Nikolai and Gavin come in for their pit stops too. Seems to be pit stop city at the moment. You guys have seen, right, this fella's taking his pit stop, I'm going to take mine too, and then it's just a domino effect on everyone else. Because you don't really want to be left out there alone, because you don't know how much time you're going to lose realistically in the pits with you entering, you taking off, like what Gavin just done, and getting up to speed, getting into traffic as well. That's a big thing as well. Being really spanked into traffic could be a race killer for you if you can't safely navigate around them.
Yeah, it looks like Harper and Adam Southgate has going in for the pit stops, and Harper's going back out. I'm surprised Matt has not come in yet. I'm waiting for him to come in. I think this lap he might be coming in, but he's just getting every drop out of that Lamborghini tank to try to maximize his overcut.
I think either this or next lap he'll come into the pits.
Yeah, we'll take a look here.
Especially
but yeah,
since we're coming up to the 5-minute mark of
Does-
time left in this race.
I'm impressed he's still got fuel at this point, to be honest. He's out for another lap. Is he Lightning McQueen? I'm not sure.
Yeah, we've had about 6 cars that haven't taken their pit stop yet, so that's a little bit impressive there. So we'll see if Matt can actually maybe pull it off. Possibly, I'm not sure, but he's just really trying to maximize as much of the fuel he can, honestly. So we'll see when he's gonna come in. He might be coming this time. I hope he does, because I don't know how he's able to really do it.
As the AM frontrunner and the P2 of the AM class, Byron and Roy Pinheiro both come in as Matt comes in as well for his mandatory pit stop. I'm surprised that he has fuel. We've got the majority of people on the track now coming into serve into the pit. To serve their pit stop. It will most likely be everyone now who has had a stop.
Yeah, but all eyes on Leon now. All eyes on Leon. See if he can get past him. And it looks like possibly that Leon's actually gonna be able to get past. Actually, oh wow, never mind. Really close fight between him and Matt right now. That's really brought up the because Leon was about 2 seconds behind Matt, but now Leon is about 0.3 off of Matt, but he was able to really secure that P1 he was able to hold him off right there. So now both drivers have to keep on just drive for their life to
Especially here as lap traffic is now starting to come into play.
He's going to use lap traffic to his advantage here. Yeah, you just see how tight the pit exit release was. You saw him actually come over a bit to the left to defend straight coming out of the pits. As you can see, Matt just swerving to try and get every inch of the toe there from traffic to try and just pull himself away from Leon as much as he can here. About 4/10 between Matt and Leon here, with about 3 minutes to go here at Lime Rock Park for the second heat here. It's definitely going to be interesting to see what Leon can do, to see if he can in fact take P1 here from Matt, or if Matt can hold on to it after his pit stop. Again, everyone getting squirmy over the jump. It makes me feel so good inside. Coming around to the penultimate corner here, Matt's just pulling away from Leon here. Using the traffic to his advantage, as I mentioned. He's definitely, Matt is definitely within slipstreaming range of the traffic. Can't remember the no-name, sorry, no, the left-hander. Sorry, I'm still tired. Leon's still making up a little bit of time here. Again, trying to get as much distance, trying to get as little distance between him and Matt as possible. As Matt gets held up with a little bit of traffic over the jump here, you see him just swerving, trying to navigate around him, but giving up at the end. As the traffic goes off track, both safely navigate around him, but that does put them at a disadvantage down the straight. You'd want to be on the left-hand side of the track to get the best line around the final corner. However, they were both on the inside of the track, so they had suboptimal trajectory coming out onto the straight. However, Matt's still making that work. He's coming around the left-hander once again. Going to be about 9/10 away from Leon. So the slipstream's going to start to be less effective at this distance here. So that means really good stuff for Matt, as he doesn't have to really think about Leon as much. Leon has to put in a lot of pace to try and keep up with him now. It's definitely going to be interesting. You can see them just using as much track as possible.
And as they come here across the start-finish line, it looks like they will have one more lap before the white flag flies.
Yeah, it looks like Penn is losing about 10th each lap to Matt here, so we need to maybe try to bring it back. Jamie Goodall, P1 for the AM class. He's got a good gap between himself and Daniel Pohl, so that's good. Daniel Pohl's actually been able to bring it up a little bit, get P2, but he's still under attack from Russell from behind. About a second gap there, honestly. So about 2.5 second gap between him and Daniel Pohl. So, but Pohl, seeing if he can get P2 from Jamie Goodall in the AM class really would help him out in the championship. And good, definitely there. But as we go to the result, as the results come in, we have Matt Kruna coming with P1, able to fend off Leon Penn. Another nail biter to finish. Ellie Harper coming in P3, then Adam Southgate coming in with a P4 as well.
See Matt Karuna pass the line just as the time ticker ticked down to call the race here. It was a half-hour race. He lapped a 29 minutes, 59 second, .538 session time. I think that's quite impressive.
That's for sure, yeah. But
Matt
Matt Kruna,
time that any perfectly.
Matt Kruna, he has won here in he's won in Sebring. Now he's won here in Lime Rock Park twice, actually. So really good points for him.
And then Jamie Goodall here in the AM class having an excellent finish as well.
Really good racing here. A little more organized throughout the second race, but unfortunate for some people losing out.
As we've got the 4 front runners here, doing a victory lap around here. We come to the results here of the feature race, or the or Heat 2, as I like to also call it. is the second page, I believe. So yeah, there you go. I'm not gonna read names because I'm gonna butcher them.
Yeah, we'll give Matthew a go then.
Yeah, so we have Matt Karuna taking the lead in this final race, with Leon Penn finishing second, Elliot Harper taking third, Adam Southgate, Nikolai Thrain, Jamie Goodall. Jamie Goodall with the win for the AM class in both races as well. Gavin Boyette, Daniel Pohl, Byron Russell, Sergio Vieira, M. Ramblinson, or Rambloson, Jorge Pinheiro, Rui Pinheiro, Ray Peasley, Steve Hannon, Adam Bustain, Mark Southgate, Billy Fletcher, Tristan Roser, Frantic Ambrine, Kevin Vu, Zach Levingood to round us off, and then, of course, David and myself here rounding off the...
Matthew, you're just too slow for me, I'm telling you.
Yep.
Oh, it's alright, we won't talk about Riley now.
Yep.
Make it.
But that was very, very good racing from a lot of these guys. Unfortunately, some people having a trip across the grass visiting the barrier, but lots of really good racing, a lot of good battling around this track. But next week we are headed to Interlagos, as we had said earlier, back to our normal 45-minute race. No heat races next week, just the single 45-minute race. And so I'm ready to sign off. If unless David or Riley, you guys have anything to add on?
No, I'm quite happy with that.
Nothing really, just good race. Yeah, really interesting track layout. So brought out some good, interesting racing, especially that the caution jump. I liked it. Good fun.
It was very good fun. But
go check out our website. Check out our website, tworavens.tv. It's pretty cool. I made it.
Was just recently created, so now we have a website. Two Ravens TV. I believe you spell out the word two. It is not the number.
Yeah, it is correct. It is exactly what is on screen, except it's got www in front of it.
But we will see you next week at Interlagos as we broadcast the Some Racing Experience GT3 League, presented by Luxem24 and broadcasted by us, Two Ravens TV. We'll see you next week.